Hello and welcome to our Year with the Ears, our daily vlog where we relive our year living in the Walt Disney World Resorts in 2019. Today is day 183.
It's a very special day today. It's moving day once again. Woo!
Yay!
I'm just kidding. I mean, it is moving day, but it is also the 6-month anniversary of us living in the Walt Disney World Resorts. Can you believe it? We have been living at Disney for 6 months. I feel like the time has flown by.
I really can't believe it either. I know that the calendar says it's been 6 months.
It's lying.
And my wallet says it's been 6 months, but it doesn't feel like 6 months at all.
So we woke up here at the Polynesian and got all packed up because it is actually moving day today. We got ready very early this morning, sent everything with bell services, and then we took the bus over to Disney Springs because today is the very first showing of Spiderman Far From Home. It is a Tuesday, which is kind of weird.
Very weird, yeah.
But we are getting to see one of the first showings of it because we're seeing the morning showings, which is really cool. And so we made our way over to AMC, and I actually had to talk my way into the theater because normally you are allowed to bring food in the AMC at Disney Springs, but I happen to have a cake with me to celebrate our 6-month anniversary right after this, and apparently cakes are not allowed in the theater. Food is, a whole cake is not. And the sweet girl there got special permission. I promised I would not open the cake and start eating it while I was sitting there. And as long as I promised I wouldn't do that, they allowed me to take the cake inside the theater. It was the funniest thing and something I never thought I would have to have a conversation about. But I indeed did, because when we were planning all this originally, we thought we'd have our car back. We don't have it back, so I had nowhere to keep said cake. And because I don't have a room right now, because again, we didn't plan that part either, I don't have anywhere to put this cake. So we did watch Spider-Man Far From Home, absolutely loved it. We then headed over to Wolfgang Puck Express, which is my absolute favorite quick service here at Disney Springs.
Really good.
I love their food. And we did get permission to set up here. We didn't just set up shop when we got there. But we did get permission ahead of time, and so we set up for our 6-month anniversary party, which was super fun. We are going live on Instagram and then going live on Facebook, not at the same time. That would just be a lot of work. But we are doing the biggest giveaway we have done yet. And it's just so exciting because we've got all the decorations. I even cut that cake in half because it's our half birthday, not full birthday. And so I made sure to cut the cake in half. I didn't cut the cupcakes in half because that just seemed really excessive.
It seemed like it would not work very well either because cupcakes kind of need the whole thing to stand up. So then you're going to wind up with like cupcakes falling all over the place. So
just didn't seem like a good idea.
Good call on leaving the cupcakes alone.
So we did those giveaways and just had a really fun time. And then we decided to get some lunch because we are very hungry. We did watch that entire movie. Didn't have a lot of snacks during that. And then we've been doing all this.
Didn't have a lot of snacks. You had a whole cake.
I wasn't allowed to eat it.
You could have, though. See, I feel like now every time I go to the theater, I'm just going to imagine someone hiding in the corner with a whole cake and just kind of eating cake like the kid on Matilda, you know? The chocolate cake, just shoving it. Yeah, that's in my head now.
You're welcome for that visual, by the way. I have never thought of that since that day, so that's all him.
Yeah, I can't help it. It's like burned into my memory.
For lunch, we got some spaghetti and meatballs, my sister did, and I got a turkey bacon sandwich. Not something I've had before, but I wanted to try something new, and I really enjoyed it. Had a lot more flavor than you'd expect for a sandwich.
And since we were trying new things, I decided to try their meatloaf. The person at the cash register told me it was really good. I'm skeptical because I really am picky on my meatloaf. I love it over at Big River Grill on the boardwalk, and I really don't care for it most other places, so I wasn't so sure about this one, but I went ahead and took a chance, and wow, this was really good meatloaf.
He just kept talking about it. It was hilarious.
I mean, it was wrapped in bacon, so it was kind of guaranteed to be somewhat good just because bacon, you know? But I was really surprised with how good this was. Very thankful I decided to listen to the recommendation and try it this time. Once we were done eating, we had a whole bunch of stuff left to pack up between all the different decorations and the cake that we had left and the cupcakes and stuff. So we took quite a while packing it all up, getting all ready to go. Then we went out to the buses, hopped on a bus, and instead of going back to Polynesian where we left club level and we could go back there to the lounge, We instead went to Contemporary, where we're checking into a lake view room in the main tower. When we got there, our room was ready, so we went straight up there and took all of our detail pictures and 360 pictures. And then we recorded a room tour because once again, Facebook Live in this building not working very well. So we recorded it and put that up on Facebook a little while later. Now we have 2 queen beds here in this room. There is a king configuration. We had that in our last stay here. But there are 2 queen beds, so you can put 4 people here in this room. And then over on the left, we have a couch that is actually a pull-down twin. So you can get a 5th person in the room if there's one of those couches in the room with you. So you have that. The beds have a couple overhead lights there that you can see that are on dimmers. So you have a little dimmer on either side of the bed, so you can bring those down if you want, or turn them off, or whatever you want to do. So you've got the options for the individual lights there. And if you'd like to see that entire room tour, it's linked down in the description below and up there in the corner. And they are currently refurbishing these rooms, opening up very soon. And as soon as they do, we will have new room tours of the brand new rooms there. So make sure you head over to the channel and look for those if it's after September 26, 2021.
We had a wonderful surprise when we got to our room, which was a lot of fun. We had this really pretty plate of desserts, and they were decorated so pretty. Of course, there's a little monorail, which has like a ton of detail on it, a chocolate covered strawberry, some macaroons. This was so sweet to find and such a nice surprise. And I don't think they realized what today was for us, which was even more exciting because it is a special occasion. And we also had a beautiful view. I mean,
my goodness,
I
yes.
expected to have a good view because it's lake view, but I just didn't really think about how pretty the view was going to be. And I'm so glad we have this room.
I know we haven't stayed theme park view at the Contemporary yet, but I really like the lake view. It's just so peaceful, and you get the sunrise in the morning, so it's kind of a win-win.
We then took the monorail back over to the Polynesian because we do have access to club level through the end of the night. There was a beautiful sunset, and we got this really pretty shot like through the trees there at Polynesian of the sunset. It was really pretty. And then we got our desserts at the Polynesian Club level. We didn't make it in time for dinner, but we weren't trying to because we're actually still really full because we had so much for lunch.
The portion sizes at Wolfgang Puck Express were ridiculously big. So we did have more than enough to eat, and we still had leftovers for a meal another day. The desserts tonight were pretty much the same as they have been every night, with different things like tarts, except this time instead of a chocolate tart or a cherry tart, they had a s'mores tart, and this one was really good. I'm a fan of this, even though not a real s'more.
It's not.
I know, but it was really good. I enjoyed it. I also really enjoyed the guava cheesecake that they had tonight. I wasn't expecting to. It didn't look like it was going to be all that good, but I really liked it.
One of the new desserts they had was a fruit tart, and I'm not normally big on fruit for dessert because to me that's like something healthy, and if you're gonna eat dessert and commit to it, just eat the sugar. I actually loved these though. I had quite a few of these. Might have taken a couple with me, but they were really good. They weren't really heavy, weren't overly sweet. I really enjoyed these. And of course they had their normal Rice Krispie treats and cookies that they've had each night for the kids.
For the kids, or people who can't have food coloring. That's the other thing.
That's fair too. One of the other things they have at the Club Level Lounge, which we have not checked out at all, is board games. They do have some that we can check out. They had the Game of Life, but Haunted Mansion version, which I'm not sure how that works.
Would it be the Game of Afterlife or the Game of Death? Or I don't.
I feel like Life was not.
Life is definitely not the game that should be for Haunted
It was
Mansion.
a lot of fun, but we joked about it the entire time because we're like, they couldn't have done like a little afterlife, or I mean, surely someone could have come up with a good pun. Someone in the office. They also had Tower of Terror Clue. I love Clue anyway. I also love Tower of Terror, so this was a really awesome combination for me. We played this several times because I really enjoyed it.
And since we didn't have a room here at Polynesian anymore, we actually played those games on the second floor of the Club Level Lounge, kind of a little loft area up there. And when it came time for the fireworks, they dimmed all the lights in the lounge, and we could actually watch them out the giant windows at the front of the Club Level Lounge. So totally a different perspective from what we saw when we were staying in the room the last couple nights, and we just sat up here and watched Happily Ever After and enjoyed it from the lounge. It was cool. It was a very different experience than watching it from the beach or watching it from your room. After Happily Ever After was over, we grabbed one last cup of drink on our way out. I got myself an espresso coffee on the way out. Her sister got
course.
a soda, and we got back on the monorail to go back over to the Contemporary where our room is so we can go to bed. And that was the end of our day today. So we'll see you tomorrow
For Argue with the Ears.